Hey everybody, and thanks for joining me on another episode of Straight Jacket White Rabbit. As always, I'll be your host. My name's Adam. You guys, I've been out for a little bit. My family got sick. I got sick. It was just a nasty chest cold that went around. But I am back now, and there has been a lot of developments, so I'm going to try to rapid fire some videos this week for you. Today's video, you guys, I gotta do a video on this. It is the new House Oversight Committee's UAP hearing of 2025. There's so much here that people aren't really talking about. They're talking about some pretty spectacular things, I'll give you that, but not the consequences of what these things mean on a larger scale. And that's what I'm going to be talking to you about today. Okay, so during this committee, during the House Oversight Committee's investigation into UAPs, long story short, a anonymous whistleblower had given this video to the Representative Eric Burleson from, I think it was Missouri, who presented the video to everyone in attendance. And the video is reportedly above Yemen, and it shows some pretty spectacular stuff.
This was taken October 30th of 2024. This video is of an MQ-9 drone tracking an orb, or this object, off the coast of Yemen. You'll see that another MQ-9 launched a Hellfire missile. That you cannot see that drone.
Are you aware of anything in the government, United States government arsenal that can split a Hellfire missile like this?
No.
And do whatever blob thing it did and then keep going? Nothing?
Nothing.
All right, how about you, Chief Wiggins?
Nothing to my knowledge, ma'am.
Okay, and how about you, Mr. Borland?
I prefer to answer that in a skiff.
I have heard about events like this. I have heard about this event. Jeremy Corbell and I talked about it in one of our episodes a while back. We did not have the video, though. There are servers where there's a whole bank of these kind of videos that Congress has not been allowed to see, that the public hasn't been allowed to see. Occasionally, some of that stuff gets out in the wild, and it comes our way. It should be going to you. The public should be seeing this stuff. And why you're not allowed to, I don't know. But that's a Hellfire missile smacking into that UFO and just bounced right off. And it kept going.
It kept going, and it looks like the debris was taken with it.
Yeah, what the hell is that?
Like, how does it get hit? A UFO gets hit with a Hellfire missile. That's spectacular of a release right there, you guys, for numerous reasons. Number one, you have to understand a few things. Number one, this UFO was shot. We found out the missile type was supposedly the Hellfire2, which, if you don't know what a Hellfire missile is, basically there are large metal swords, blades, whatever you want to call them, that protrude out and open up at the last second. It causes maximum damage, and after impact, they explode. This thing comes in, as you saw off the screen, hits it, just bounces right off. Now, we don't know if what looks like the debris that follows the ship is part of the ship. We don't know if that was something from the missile that was simply caught in this thing's gravitational well, whatever it uses to fly. We don't know what that was, so I can't definitively say it broke pieces off of it. That could have very well been the pieces off of the missile, the blades off of the missile flying around and gleaming in the sun. But what we do know is this thing was fired upon by our military over foreign soil. This tells us a lot of information, you guys. Like, it's mind-blowing that nobody's talking about this. Okay, I'm going to break this down for you. For years, our government has been saying, first and foremost, UAPs, UFOs, whatever you want to call them, flying saucers, are not real. They don't exist. They're a trick of our imagination. They're groupthink. They're mass hysteria. Then it was said that, oh, well, they were just misidentified things, swamp gas and ball lightning and a lot of other absurd things, weather balloons. And now, recently, they're saying, well, yeah, they exist, but we don't know what they are. They could be an advanced technological creation of our own government. They could be a technical, achievement of a different government. We don't know. You guys, okay, let me slow walk this to anyone who has not already come to this conclusion. You don't shoot down your own experimental top secret, more secret than the nuclear bomb, as far as the Pentagon is concerned, and other agencies. You don't shoot at and try to shoot down your own technology. Okay, so this is not some secret, oh, we had a test of our secret technology over Yemen, and we didn't tell any of our pilots that were out there, and we didn't stop them when they were giving the order to attack our newest, which I could only imagine if it was us, which it's not, billions and billions of dollar technology that was probably going to be put into it if it was ours, which it wasn't. But, so that eliminates their whole crock excuse right there that it was something that could be our own secret technology. We didn't fire on the B-2s when we were testing them, okay? We didn't, the stealth bombers, we didn't fire upon them accidentally. Why? Because our military tells you, hey, there's experimental craft in the area, don't touch it. You don't just whiz by and hope that your own people don't shoot you. You inform them that, hey, this is not to be touched. Leave it alone. Don't fire. You give the higher-ups the orders, hey, if your people come across this, they do not have okay for a shoot-down order. So this wasn't ours. That eliminates one of their whole things they've been touting for years now about how it could be our own technology, our own advancing of our military equipment. You don't shoot your own equipment. Number 2, as I've said this one for a long time, you honestly believe that if China or Russia had something that could take a direct hit from a Hellfire missile and just keep going, I mean, it literally just, you saw the video, it just keeps going. It was slightly inconvenienced and wobbled for a second, but then just steadied out and went back on its way. You honestly believe that if they had that we'd be speaking in English right now? No. Okay, you'd be speaking Russian or Chinese or Korean or whatever country came up with this technology, especially if they were an adversary of the United States. We would know. Okay, they wouldn't have just been like, oh, they just shot at our, experimental craft that's, vastly superior technology than anything currently in production on Earth that China supposedly came up with the way to make. They can't make a DVD player that doesn't glitch after more than a year. I don't think they're making these craft. I'm sorry. And it's ridiculous. If we did shoot one of their craft over foreign soils, there'd be a declaration of war. If they had that technology, there would be a declaration of war, and they would just murder us with those things because, quite frankly, there's nothing we can do to touch those things. They move so fast from point to point, and not in wide turns. They make right angle turns at full speed. It's ridiculous. Our aircraft would have no chance. I mean, less than no chance. So if it's not our government and it's not a foreign government, that kind of eliminates it being from here, from humans. Okay, now is it from some advanced civilization in inner Earth, or, a distant parallel dimension, or a galaxy? or another, a distant star system somewhere in our star system? I don't know these answers, and I don't pretend to. I do have theories. My top two would be either these are beings from another planet, and I'm not talking about Mars. I'm talking further away. Or these things are interdimensional beings, like I said. They can come into our reality, even though we don't currently have the technology to go into theirs. But this is so groundbreaking that they've shown now proof that we are shooting at these things. And now that I bring that up, I just have to real quick step in here. What genius in our military sees something doing ridiculous speeds, maneuvers like these things do, all the high-tech, almost borderline magic, because we don't know how they do the things they do with modern physics. How do we see that and go, I'm going to shoot it? Like, what genius gave the order to fire on one of these things? I mean, now, if they know something we don't know, like maybe these are a race of beings that don't even have weapons. Maybe they don't even maybe they don't have a comprehension of the concept of weaponry. Now, if we knew something like that, I could understand our military firing on them because there'd be no risk of reprisal. But our military says they know no such thing. They don't know anything about this. Which means to me that you are shooting at superior technology that you have no clue who controls it, that's obviously not ours because you wouldn't have been given an order to shoot at it. That just, is that some dumb Independence Day, the mayor's asking Los Angelinos not to shoot at the UFO crap? Like, who starts just firing at these things? I really hope for everyone's sake that they know more than they're saying that they know, and that one of the things they know is that these things aren't going to attack us back, because the last thing you want to do is start an interstellar or interdimensional war with these things if they have vastly superior technology that could just doom us. And let's be honest, okay? They don't have to come up with some cosmic death ray or laser death ray to wipe out human civilization. With the technology that they are using to do what they do in these ships, they could easily just go nudge an asteroid into our planet. Wouldn't take much for a race of whatever they are that can create this level of technology. I don't think nudging a rock would be that hard of a mission to wipe us out. I don't think they would be that dumb to think that they couldn't do this. So that leaves either they're peaceful, and we know they're peaceful and we're firing on them anyways, which kind of makes us the schoolyard bully of our star system at this point, doesn't it? Like, if we first sign of intelligent life from either our star system or another star system or another dimension, and they get here, and what are we doing? We're like, oh, that's really nice technology, we need that, I'm gonna shoot them and take it. That's ridiculous. That is a great way to get your butts kicked. Is no one listening to the highest educated minds of our time who have all agreed that if we meet a superior civilization, that the odds are that it probably won't end well for us? Because when two different civilizations, and I mean different in technological terms, advancement in warfare terms, advancement in movement and abilities, when two civilizations that differ like this meet, the less advanced one is usually the one that's wiped off the map. I mean, just look at our history. If our history is anything to do with anyone else's history or any kind of cosmic symmetry, the less advanced, whoever they may be in the fight, are usually the ones that are wiped off the board. Okay, that's why weapons keep evolving to better weapons, because if you don't have better weapons, the other side wins. Now, I hope they're peaceful, you guys. I've had talks about this before on my other videos on this, and I believe, with how long I believe that these beings, from wherever they're from, have been visiting our planet, which I believe has been over 1,000 years, probably a few thousand years at least. And I say at least because I believe it could go further back than that. But these entities, these people, these beings, I would like to think that if they've been here for this long and they haven't, Independence Day'd us by now, that there's a reason. Either they're peaceful, or they feel a responsibility for us, or, some general nod to why they haven't done it yet. I'm hoping it's because they are, a benevolent species who doesn't believe in just wiping us out. But you can't put it past the fact that maybe they just don't consider us a threat. I mean, think about it. I hate to say it, but if you sent, the entirety of the U.S. Army against, some small native tribe in like Papua New Guinea, they're not a threat to us. We're not going to go shooting them if they're running around waving spears at us. I mean, if they throw a spear, they might get shot once, but then I'm pretty sure they'd get the message. But we're not really concerned about them when we're packing M16s and hand grenades and all other manner of, helicopter gunners and stuff. We wouldn't be concerned with them. They don't seem to be a threat to us. So is it that we're just not a threat to these things yet? Is this why the activity is assumingly increasing, according to a lot of sources, in the last, 50, 75, I can't even say that, almost 100 years now, since, mid-1950s, 40s, whatever. But it has increased, or at least our attention to it has allowed us to see these things more often. It could be because we're paying more attention to our skies, but I don't think that's it. That's the only thing. I think that there's more factors in that, which are these ships are showing up more. And to prove that and to back up what my claim of this is, look at the original sightings. A lot of sightings were simply one type of craft. Maybe two, depending on what time frame you're looking at on our history. But now you're seeing dozens of different craft. We're seeing triangles and cubes that are inside clear little orbs and like almost like a bubble. And I mean, we're seeing so many different shapes other than just the classic saucer. And we don't even know, I mean, the general public, I don't know if our government knows, but us, the general public, we don't even know if these are all the same species that are visiting us. Why do they have these many different ships? Why have people all around the world claimed to have seen different versions of these aliens or other dimensional beings? Are we just some kind of a cosmic nexus that these things have come to? Maybe there's a point where our planet is significant for some reason that is beyond us. Maybe it is energetically significant. Maybe it is, significant in other ways. I'm not going to say it's because of our resources, because there are planets out there that are made entirely of water. So it's not water, yes, we have a large biodiversity, so maybe they're here to study all the animals and plants and species living on our planet. Maybe they've been doing it for a long time and they just became interested in us as they watched our evolution. But this UAP footage, you guys, I really want to hear some of your thoughts on this in the comments on the video here, because They asked a question of these people about whether or not they were scared from this video. And I've got to say, I'm terrified, but not of the UFO. I'm terrified that we live in a government that is stupid enough to fire on something that is obviously of superior technological origin. It's not us. We've proven that here today. We've proved that as soon as this video came out. We're not in the habit of shooting our own top secret, devices. Be it top secret subs, be it top secret, airplanes or top secret tanks. We don't go around blowing up our own top secret stuff. We darn sure don't do it over civilian populations in foreign countries. And now, granted, it wasn't over a civilian population. It was over the ocean, obviously. So that was a little overstep. But still, it's not us. And this video coming forward of us attacking this thing, in my eyes, is all the proof we need to go forward and say, you know what, that excuse doesn't cut it anymore. Now, I want to be clear. I absolutely believe that we have less sophisticated, and getting better all the time, but less sophisticated, I'll call them, man-made UFOs. I do believe the American government has been successful to some degree in replicating these craft. Now, do I believe they can do all of the same things? No, because they wouldn't be doing the things they're doing, like when Bob Lazar came out in the 90s and said that they were still trying, generationally to recruit the smartest people to work on these things, to figure out the propulsion systems and the power sources. And it's just really mind-boggling that not only could we have our own, not only are there these craft that are not ours, but like I said, the possibility at that point, everyone goes, well, it's got to be a foreign country or one of the either aliens or interdimensional beings or interplanetary beings, whatever you want to call them. But it really doesn't. It eliminated the other choice too, you guys. You don't think that if we shot down some country's test flight or whatever, or shot and hit some country's advanced aircraft, that we wouldn't be hearing about it, that it wouldn't be, America attacked a test flight of new equipment. I guarantee you we would hear about it, and I guarantee you there would be a retaliatory attack, and I guarantee you if they had that level of technology, they would win. So what's the downside for them? Why not? Why, if it's another country, why wouldn't they have attacked back? Because it's not another country. We spend in America, you guys, okay, we spend more than like the next 4 countries or 5 countries combined on military technology, on military period. And it's not ours. I'm sorry, but yes, the closest, technologically speaking, next to us would be China. And it's not China, you guys. China wouldn't be dancing around with their little parade of their freaking tanks and their other stuff. They wouldn't be building new aircraft carriers and stuff like this if they had this technology. There's no need. What do you need a Navy for if you could build, 800 of these things and just bomb the crud out of the entire whatever area you wanted to bomb? Nobody'd be able to stop you from dropping missiles wherever you wanted to put them because you can't even catch these things. And yeah, you've just shown we can't keep up with them in flight, and even our missiles, when they hit these things, don't do anything. They shook it off like a boxer, like a professional boxer taking a jab from a 12-year-old girl. That thing literally just went, oh, what's your problem? Like, what else is it going to take to wake up the rest of the people in this world, these sheep who sit there and argue online with me all the time and to my face all the time about, oh, well, there's no proof that these things are not just our government, or these things could be Russia or China, or they're ball lightning. You ever seen ball lightning take a missile strike and just deflect the missile off of it and just chill and keep going? All of their excuses, all of their explanations cannot cover this video. This video is, I mean, the holy grail so far of what's come out in recent disclosure of UAP, UFOs, whatever you want to call them. So, I mean, I'm happy that we're getting little bits of disclosure from whistleblowers and, you know, people leaking information, sneaking these videos out. But that brings up the next point, which is, you guys, our own House committee on this is telling us they're being stonewalled. They're being stopped by government agencies and the Pentagon. These government agencies are trying to stop an official hearing on UAP. They're trying to stop questions into these things. They're trying to stop all of these bills that are trying to be passed now by certain legislators, who I very much am thankful for. But they're trying to block off every possible route to answers. They're like, they're the person trying to contain the fire. They're running around trying their best to contain all these leaks. But it's just getting worse because people are sick of hiding this. The people who know the truth in our government are done. A lot of them, and there are a lot. Look at all the whistleblowers that are coming out. And I'm not just talking about the ones that went to Jeremy Corbell and George Knapp. There are whistleblowers going to senators, congressmen, congressional candidates even. Not even Congress people, but candidates are having whistleblowers come to them and saying, look, if you get elected, can you help me with this? I absolutely believe, on that note, that our whistleblowers need a vast amount of protection. I believe that what they have right now, their protection, is a joke. These people are losing their livelihoods. They're losing all of their security clearances. In worst cases, they're not even losing their security clearances. They're being left in limbo so that they're unclear what clearances they have. Therefore, they just can't get hired in any of the fields that are related to their military post or jobs. These whistleblowers are in danger. A lot of them have been threatened or had suspicious accidents. They've been threatened with their livelihoods. Like I said, this is unacceptable. These people are coming out and bringing us the truth that we've been asking for over 80 years. Why are we not fighting harder to help protect them? Why are we not taking these conversations to our elected officials and saying, look, I want something on a bill that's going to say that these people have, immunity from charges because they knew about this stuff or because they leaked said footage. They're not giving, they're not exposing state secrets to Russia. They came out with a video that's showing stuff that they've been denying exists for over 85 years. And the Pentagon and all these other agencies are just getting embarrassed, quite frankly, is I believe what it is. And the dam is breaking. I truly believe this. I know people think it's a joke and they're like, it's never going to happen. But I see it coming, you guys. I see the dam breaking, and I see the information coming faster and faster. Where it's going to lead, I don't know. Whether it's going to be a fake, a false flag attack, Project Bluebeam status, fake mothership and all, I don't know. That could be this whole thing with the new meteor, the new comet that's coming, from out of our galaxy, that everyone's now saying could possibly be some kind of UFO mothership. That could be part of the Project Bluebeam, and when it gets closer, they might freak out. It's supposed to be closest to our planet sometime in December, I believe, so we'll find out. But there's a lot of different things that these craft can be. But we need to start having the conversation that the thing that they can't be is they can't be ours. They're not made by humans. Not humans from this time period. We don't possess the knowledge it takes to make craft that can do what these do. So it's been a really interesting topic, and I can't tell you how many times I've watched this video now since it came out. You guys, I've watched this video probably 1,000 times already. I sat there the first day it came out just replaying it. I was watching the hearing, and I literally just kept dragging the bar back, because I couldn't believe what I just saw get released to the public. You know, as sick as I was sitting there with my box of tissues, you know, I was still working on, you know, looking this up, looking at where it happened over, you know, which waters, what kinds of drones shot it down, what kind of Hellfire missile was used. And it's nuts that they released this video, because like I said, it disproves so many of their constant arguments about the source of the UFOs or UAPs, because it's not us, and it's not our adversaries, and it's not our friends. So if it's not humans, or not humans from now, I'll even say it could be future us. I don't know. Like I said, I don't know who flies them. But it's not us from here, from now. We might have things that come close, and we might be getting closer to it. We've gotten really good, you guys, at reverse engineering all kinds of things from man-made craft. We've been doing that with our adversaries forever. Another country comes out with better technology and we get our hands on it, you better believe we figure out exactly what it is, how it works, and we break it down. We've gotten good at this. Now, the reason it's been, everyone goes, well, if we're so good, how come it's taken so long? Well, it's kind of hard when you're, you know, trying to put together your IKEA table with instructions in Chinese. You know, these are not exactly, we don't even know if we're working with elements that we have readily available to us. There could be some kind of new element that, you know, makes their entire power system work. Bob Lazar talked about it. I mean, I'm just saying. There are a lot of reasons why it could be taking this long. Maybe we've figured it all out, but we just need to find a steady version, because remember, I talked about it in my other video. The Bob Lazar element he talked about became a reality in the early 2000s. We found it. It's just an unstable version of that element. So he predicted this element more than a decade before we found it. And it has the properties and the abilities, if it were stable, to do what he says. So makes me kind of inclined to go, yeah, the guy knew what he was talking about and was telling the truth. So maybe now our governments have been spending all this extra billions of dollars to try to make our own supply of this element that powers their alien spaceships. Either way, like I said, this is just a really interesting one, you guys, and I'm going to be glued to this. And any other videos that come out, I will bring them to you as soon as I can. Thank you guys so much for the get well wishes for me and the family. We appreciate you guys as always. I do want to just close with this thought, you guys. I'm going to fire off some rapid videos, but in the world we live in today, I just want you guys to know that I appreciate how awesome you guys are in chat, how kind and nice, and even when there's like differing opinions, you guys all still behave civilly towards each other, and that shows more about you guys than you'll ever know. This shows what kind of people truly are when they can talk and have discourse without the name calling and without the ridicule. And I love my subscribers, you guys. You guys are amazing. keep being nice to each other, keep being kind-hearted, and just remember, man, it's humanity. We are all in this together. Until next time, this has been Straight Jacket White Rabbit, signing off.